Hey guys, welcome to Coders Arcade. This is Ashang David, and in this live session, we will be talking about a little bit of Matplotlib. Now, I randomly came live at this time. I know it was really random, but in this live session, I wanted to start with a new series actually today. I am going to start and do math laboratory, which is being done in VTU right now. So you might have already seen the thumbnail, guys. So in that thumbnail, I have given you what we are going to do. We are going to do math lab in Python, using Python. So in this math lab, you see that we have a lot of things to be plotted. In this case, I'll open up the PDF and I'll show you. So this is the PDF. Okay guys, I hope so that the PDF is visible. White background, I believe so that PDF is visible. If you haven't any problem, please let me know. Okay, so this is the math lab. Are you able to see the PDF, guys? Yeah, I believe so. Now it will be better. So actually, and another thing, am I audible? Am I audible? Right? Okay. Anyways. So if you have any problems or doubts, I can see your comments, guys. So you guys can comment there and I can tell. Alright, so let us continue. So this is the actual PDF which I have that I will be covering into this series of live sessions. So as in the description, I have provided this PDF as well, and so you can go through this PDF once and I will be able to solve your doubts. So now this is all about mathematics laboratory using Python, and here there are two things that they are discussing about in the prerequisite, that is basic mathematics and basic programming skills. So here I am not gonna do the basic mathematics part because you already know the mathematics part, we believe. I will be explaining you about the coding part, everything about coding, what is in that. So we will be seeing that. Okay, so in this PDF, when you open this PDF, you will see that here they have taught Python first, right? But we already have learned Python, guys. You already know where to find my Python videos. I will give the link in the description for that as well. We have a whole Python playlist that you can go ahead and watch. And if you have any doubts, you please let me know in the comment section of those videos. I'll try to solve those doubts as much as possible. Apart from it, we will skip this concept of Python, which is already given in the same PDF. We will directly start from the first question. So the first question what you see in mathematics laboratory using Python is the 2D plot for Cartesian and polar curves. Okay, so more details about Cartesian and polar curves later on in this live session, in today's live session. I would like to just explain and tell you a little bit about Matplotlib first, because as you can see, this is the mathematics laboratory which is given in the VTU in the first semester itself, or generally in first year. So if you are a VTU student and if you have this subject, then definitely 110% there will be an issue of learning about this, because you will not be able to understand about Matplotlib properly. Now in this PDF they have given some information about Matplotlib and NumPy a little bit, but they have not explained about that in too much of depth. But don't worry guys, Ashang David is here. I will be explaining you everything about this in this series of live sessions. So without any further ado, let's get right into the concept. Now before I start with this live session, I would like to request you to people, please like, share and subscribe to our channel, as well as don't forget to press the bell icon also so that you won't miss any future updates. Now let us start the class. Now here you can see this is the very first question which you see in this, and that is 2D plot for Cartesian and polar curve. So here this they are explaining, this is the code that they have written, and this is the plotting that is being done right there. And I believe so that you are able to see that this is a scatter plot. Okay, now this is a line plot. Okay, a regular line plot where a regular line, a dotted red line is being used to plot. Okay, but anyways, let us first understand about what exactly is Matplotlib. Now guys, before I start with Matplotlib, when I'll teach you about Matplotlib, the thing is that here in Matplotlib, we are using some of the NumPy functions also. So if you haven't watched our NumPy videos, I will recommend you to first watch NumPy videos, which is already present in our data science playlist using Python. I'll give the link of that also in the description below later on. And after that, you can understand about what functions I have used here. Now, for example, I have used one function here called as linspace. You might not understand this at first, but for the sake of this video, I will explain you about that linspace a little bit so that your reference towards this video is completed. Anyways, let us start this, guys. And first of all, we need to understand about what is Matplotlib. Matplotlib brief introduction I will give you, and then we will move on. So first, what exactly is Matplotlib? See, Matplotlib is a library of data science and Python data analysis, which allows us to visualize the data. When we are able to visualize the data, we are able to explain about the data. We are able to express about the data. And when we are able to express about that data, our client or to whomever we are going to show the data, they will be able to understand it properly, easily. You will be able to explain about what you want to express in a more depth way. With the help of Matplotlib, you can create graphs such as these given in the PDF. As you see here, this is a scatter plot and this is a line plot. Here in this case, in this PDF, these kind of graphs, plots can be easily drawn using Matplotlib. So ultimately, we will start with our Matplotlib concept and let us understand about this in much more depth. Now guys, this is a brief introduction to the course and I am just giving you a common understanding about Matplotlib. Though I am not explaining you about Matplotlib in too depth, I will create a separate set of videos in our data science playlist how to visualize the data using Matplotlib. This is a live session where we are trying to understand about VTU math laboratory. So we will be focusing more onto that, but using Matplotlib. But more detailed videos on Matplotlib, I'll create a separate either a playlist or I'll add that into the data science playlist. So you can go ahead and watch that. The update to our Matplot playlist will be updated in our Telegram group and Instagram social accounts. So if you don't follow us there, do follow us there as well. Anyways, let us start. So guys, I was just telling you about Matplotlib and just now I have told you that Matplotlib is used to express by making sure that the data is properly visualized. And when the data is properly visualized, whoever is your client, they will understand about the data in a much more depth and in an easier way. So guys, here the first question is to us is in the PDF, we need to plot the 2D Cartesian and polar curves. Now what is Cartesian and polar curves? These are the curves done in mathematics to understand about some concept in a much more depth. We have another video on this. We will create another video on this for maths using data science and machine learning. So you can go ahead and watch that later on. But right now, in terms of plotting the graph, we are going to talk about this first. So we are going to talk about Matplotlib. So guys, Matplotlib, first of all, as I told you, it is a data visualization library. With the help of this, we are able to visualize our data. And when we are able to visualize our data, we are able to express and explain about the data in a much more depth way. Correct? So in this Let us start with how you can use Matplotlib. So guys, first, if you want to use Matplotlib into your programs, you need to import Matplotlib. And to import Matplotlib, you will say something like this: import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. Now, in the Matplotlib library, there is another library called as pyplot for Python plot, and that, to access that, we need Matplotlib. So we said import, we said matplotlib.pyplot, and as plt I have written. I have already explained you this in the NumPy and Pandas videos, but for those people who are new to this channel, for them also let me explain that as plt means I am creating an alias name for this whole thing, so that any function which I am creating or using shall be directly be able to fetch using this plt alias. Understood my point? Then comes our next line, modulus matplotlib inline, percentage matplotlib inline, means whenever you will execute any line of particular code here, it will give you the graph related to it or the data visualization related to it there only in the same line, inline, and this is why we have used it. Okay. Now the next thing is I have imported NumPy, and here I have randomly generated some data, not randomly, but I have generated some data, dummy data, using linspaces. Now for those people who don't know about linspaces is a function of NumPy. So before I start using that, I have import NumPy as np, again alias for NumPy. So np can be used to fetch all the functions from the NumPy rather than calling the whole NumPy itself. So I have said import NumPy as np, and because linspace is a function from NumPy, I said np, the alias name dot linspaces, and here in the parameter of this function I have provided 0, 5 and 11. Meaning what? What this linspace does? Okay, listen to this. Linspace is a function which will give you even number of spaces between 0 to 5. Even number of spaces, like proper distance of spaces, depending upon how many numbers you want. I said I want 11 numbers. So this first parameter is the start, the second parameter is the stop, and the third parameter is the number of elements you want in between 0 to 5. I said I want the 11 numbers from 0 to 5 equally distributed between them, so uniformly distributed. So that is what linspaces will do in this case. I hope so that you are getting my point really well. If you have any doubts, please tell me in the comment section. I am watching that comment section as well. Okay. About linspaces, if you are very curious about learning about linspaces, go watch our first video on NumPy. I have explained you about that there. I will give the link in the description below also. I have already created that and explained about linspaces there in a separate video. Okay. I have stored everything in X. So if I print X is printing an array of 11 numbers. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 numbers are there. Between 0 to 5, it has printed our 11 numbers. After that, I have taken Y equals to, I have created the, I have taken all the values of X and I have said to the power 2. So X to the power 2 will happen and all the elements will be squared in this case. So when you will see Y will be this, the square of all the elements from the X. So we have two arrays now, X and Y array. Now we are ready to plot this. Now why I have used NumPy? Because I did not have any data. So I randomly created a dummy data, so that I can plot something onto the graph using Matplotlib. So first I imported the Matplotlib, then I took the NumPy and created the data. Now to plot the data, there are two ways of plotting the data. One is a functional way, another is object oriented way. So object oriented way, later on we will talk about that in our in-depth videos of Matplotlib. But because in our VTU PDF for math laboratory, they have used functional approach. So first we will only talk about functional approach in the Matplotlib context. Okay. So here we will say functional way. Okay. We are not using object oriented way. Functional way, much more easier. Later on object oriented will be much more easier later on, but it is a little bit difficult to understand in beginning. What I have done is, I said plt for Matplotlib dot plot. Plot is a function coming from matplotlib.pyplot. So I'm using the alias plt dot plot, and I'm saying here x comma y. X is another array. Just now we have taken that using linspaces, 11 numbers, and here the square of all the 11 numbers are kept into y, as you can see here. So we have plot, and as soon as I plot that, I'll get something like this, guys. You can see that this is the graph which we are getting in this case, and you can see that this plot is being made in the graph. Okay, see, Matplotlib will do automatically everything. You just have to say one line, and as soon as you say one line, it will create the graph, it took the data, and it will automatically plot the data as well for you. You don't have to do anything manually. Everything will be done automatically as soon as you say plt.plot, give the data, and that's it. Understood this, guys? If you have any doubts, please do let me know. If we go to the PDF now, then in the PDF you see that here what they have done is, if I zoom in a little bit, they have done the same thing, but they have not used numpy here because they did not want to create a complex data like how I created. What they have done is, they have imported the matplotlib.plt as matplotlib.pyplot as plt as the alias. You know this line now. They have taken x as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and y as 2, 7, 9, 11, 13, 14, 16 and 17 as their data. And what they have done is, they have said plt.scatter. Now what is this scatter? plt.scatter is a type of graph. A type of graph where scatter means small points will be plotted in a scattered way. So number of points are scattered in a particular area, surface area or a line, and that is what you call as a scatter plot. So this is when you say plt.scatter, scatter is a type of graph which is stored in the Matplotlib. To understand about that, you will understand that in later on. Just in the case of this scatter, when I say, it will create this type of plot. As you can see, it is plotting small points all along the way, depending upon the data. So depending upon the data, as you can see, on 1 there is one plot, on 1 comma 2. So 1 comma 2, there you go. Then we have 2 comma 7. So we have 2 comma, this is 2, this is 7, this is 6, 8 and in between we have 7 here. So you can see the plotting is being done. Then this is 3 comma 9. So 3 comma 9, there you go. I can just tell by looking at the graph here. This is 4 comma 11. So see 4 comma 11. This is 5 comma 13. 5 comma 13, like that. Plotting is done automatically. You don't have to worry about anything. You just said plt.scatter. Now if I would have said dot plot, then it would have just created a simple curve line, as you can see here, like how I have created like here. It would create a line curve like this, but in that PDF they have given us a scatter. So they are printing the scatter plot. Okay. Now what is this plt.x label? X label means label on the x axis. X axis label means this axis label, that is x axis. Okay. And you have y label, that is y axis. So the label on the y axis. Then we have the title. So plt.title means the title of the whole graph, which is scatter plot. So scatter points. Okay. And plt.show, actually plt.show is to print the graph. But when you use Jupyter Notebook, you don't have to worry about doing this. It will directly do it for you. Okay. I hope so that this is very much clear, guys. Now let us take this program and go to the Jupyter Notebook and understand about this in a more depth way. So what I'll do is, I'll copy this line first. I'll go back to my Jupyter Notebook. Here I've created a Jupyter Notebook for you guys already. Without wasting time, we will be copy pasting and understanding about the code as well right there. Okay, so I said import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. Now if Matplotlib is not installed, this line won't work. So make sure that Matplotlib is installed. And how to install Matplotlib? Just like how you install NumPy. Pip install NumPy, pip install pandas, pip install Matplotlib, like that. I hope so that this is very much clear. So now I'll run this code. Now For me it ran because it supported my computer already have Matplotlib installed previously from the previous environment, so I don't have to worry about this anymore. Now after doing this, I'll go back to the PDF, and what I'll say is I'll create two things here. I'll say X and Y. So as you can see, when I say X and Y, when I run this, you see that we have taken two things, X and Y, and then later on if I print just X, it is just list of 1 2. This is actually a list, Python list, right? If I print Y also, you see that it is also a list here. Okay, then they are saying plt.scatter, and when I say plt.scatter, you see that this graph will be plotted, as you can see, right guys? Now this graph is plotted. This is called as a scatter plot. If I don't say scatter, and if I just say here plot plot, and when I run this, you see it would print something like this. This is a line graph. This is a line graph. Automatically this will be taken, but with the scatter plot it will create a scatter plot. I hope so that this is very much clear. Okay, in that PDF they have used the scatter plot. So if I'll make it again a scatter, so it will look like this. Right now you can see that there is no X axis label or Y axis label, so I will give that as well. Okay, so I will give that as well. So how to give that? I'll say here plt dot, I can say here plt dot X label. I'll just copy this whole thing. Okay, and with the title and show as well, I'll copy this whole thing and then I'll paste it right here. Okay, like this. Next line, and here also next line. And when I run this, you can see that it is being plotted. So with the title, with the Y axis, X axis, this is your graph, guys. Alright, I hope so that this is very much clear to all of you guys. Okay, apart from this, there is another one that they have done. Now everything is same, but they have, as I told you, have given the plot. So in this case, if I change this to from scatter to, I'll say plot, then it would create a line like this. As you can see, it will create a line like this, guys. Okay, and if I say here comma, in here if I say comma, if in the single quotes, if I say here R means red, so now the line will come as red color, as you can see here. Okay, line will come as red color. When I say R dash dash, so it will come dashed lines. Okay, like this. I hope so that this is absolutely clear to all of you, and everything is there. Okay, when I say plus right here, then it will create pluses everywhere wherever the plotting is done. I hope so that this is also very much clear to you. So these are all the line styles, and they have used functional way of plotting the graph. I hope so that this is absolutely clear to all of you guys. Right? In today's live session, I have explained to you about a little bit of Matplotlib. I have explained to you about the math laboratory using Python that they are doing in VTU. So like this, we will have more and more videos. This was just the first video, and I hope so that this is very much clear to all of you guys. If you have any doubts, please do let me know in the comment section below. I can see your comments right there. If not, I'll be ending up this live session right away, because I'll keep the videos shorter, one concept at a time in every live session, and this live session will be uploaded as a video as well. So if you have missed this live session, you can later on watch this recording later on. You will be able to see it. Well guys, if you have any doubts, please ask. Otherwise, we will end this live session. Well, thank you so much guys for attending this live session, and I hope so that you are able to understand about this. More depth video on what is Matplotlib and how to do data analysis. Later on, I will create a dedicated separate video on that. So stay tuned for that. The updates will be posted on our Telegram channel. The channel link and the Instagram social media, both of them are given in the description below. So guys, don't forget to like, share and subscribe as well. Okay, so if you have liked this video guys, give me a thumbs up and we can leave guys. Thank you so much guys. Thank you so much guys, and because of some technical difficulties this camera went off, but you know about this, right? Anyways, thank you so much guys. I hope so that it is very much clear. That's all for this live session, and bye bye, take care. Sanjay messaged yes sir and the hands, so yeah, I hope so that this is very much clear.